Welcome! In front of me I have the Apple iPad Pro 13 from 2024, and I'll go over unboxing along with a quick look at this hunk of junk from Apple. So let the meme commence. Flipping it over, we just have two pull tabs. Yoink! Those are gone. And once you pop the cover, you are right off the bat presented with the tablet itself. So let's peel that off and get presented with a device that looks exactly the same as the previous model. Awesome. Great. I love to see no discernible upgrades. Let's boot it up. Now I do want to point out it does feel really thin, and it objectively is actually thin. So that's actually pretty cool. But that's about everything that I have to say positive about this device. Anyway, I just set it to the side for now. And take a look at what else we get in the box. So we get paperwork. Do we get stickers? See, do we get stickers? No, we don't get even a fucking sticker anymore, because apparently those costed too much to company. Apparently spending $1,500 on a device, or euros, doesn't warrant you a sticker. Awesome. Not even a charger. Awesome, great. So this is a normal tablet, I would argue, that comes with a insane price tag and gives you all when it comes down to accessories, because, hey, you want a pen? It comes separate. Okay, so by now you probably can figure out that I'm not a Apple lover. Hell, I absolutely despise this company by now. Because honestly, they just keep shoveling the same shit over and over, and people just keep on buying it. What are you, dense? Look at the specification. It's completely useless. Okay, so let's actually go a little bit more in depth into what kind of problems I have with this and why I'm so critical of this. So, the good parts here, unlike some other device, like iPad Air right here from 2024, this at least comes with an OLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate. Congrats, you done the bare minimum at $1,500, because apparently $1,000 doesn't warrant you high refresh rate display. Anyway, this is the Ultra Retina Tandem OLED display. So that basically means that they're, I think, like overlaying the OLED panels so it can give you a better brightness and also prevent burn-ins and stuff like that a little bit better. Now, it also supports HDR10, though there is no 10 Plus. So Apple just decided, nah, screw certifications, we're not gonna pay for that, but you're gonna pay for our device. $1,500, awesome. But it does support Dolby Vision, so that's pretty neat. I guess they wanted to pay for that certification. It also has a peak brightness of 1600 nits. Boasts a 86.9% screen to body ratio and a pixel density of 264 pixels per inch, and it's covered with a scratch-resistant glass oleophobic coating, and that's about it. Now, when it comes down to the resolution, we're running a 2064 by 2752 pixels, and it's a 4:3 aspect ratio display. So that's, like I said, the positive part of this device, which basically meets the standard of any other device that costs about $600 and up. So a third of this. Great. Now, if we move over to the internals, we are looking at a Apple M4 processor, and depending on which option you go for, you might be looking at different price tags as well. So the base entry of this device comes with 256 gigabytes of built-in storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM. Measly 8 gigs of RAM with a device that costs $1,500. Honestly, I need to check this. I genuinely don't believe is this stupidly overpriced. Let's go to Apple. Now, I am pulling all this information from GSM Arena. They are pretty reliable, so usually I don't really have need to check it. But you know what? This seems to be so freaking insane that I feel like I do need to check. I don't care about your animation, Apple. Just give me the price tag. Bye. Okay, so we're looking at... Okay, so the price is correct. Now on Apple, you will see that it says, if you go on there, from $1,299. But obviously it's Apple website, so they don't include tax. If you include tax, yeah, we're probably looking at $1,500. So props to you. Geez, you want to really milk your customers. God damn, just you're not even like ashamed to reach into their pocket for the wallet. Holy. Anyway, so let's continue on. So like I said, this is the base entry price for this device. But if you decide to spec it up to a more reasonable storage for a use as a computer, as this is trying to imitate a computer, that's kind of why they're also selling these things, right? So yeah, with that in mind, if you want to spec it out to a reasonable area to like 1 terabyte of storage and 16 gigs of RAM, I actually need to check that out. I am super curious what they will want for this. Let's go. 1 terabyte. What are we looking for? Standard glass? Oh yeah. Oh, nice. So with just Wi-Fi, we're looking already at $1,900 price tag. And if you decide to add LTE, well, we're looking at $2,100. Wow, you can't make this shit up. Okay, and that is not including tax. So you're looking at about $1,500 or $2,500. That is a joke. My God, Jesus. Tim Cook really has his marbles stored somewhere. Wow. Okay. Now I'm gonna step away from the price tags and all that stuff, and let's just get back to the look at the device. So let's flip it over where we'll have our cameras, and that houses a measly 12 megapixel camera. No, I can't. F1.8 wide sensor, and besides that we have a time of flight 3D LiDAR sensor for the depth. And with the back cameras, you can record videos at 4K up to 60 frames, 1080p up to 60 with slow motion up to 240. And we have some gyroscopic electronic image stabilization, ProRes, 4K and 1080p. And then at the front with the little camera that is housed right here in this gigantic bezels for a device that costs over $1,500. I would consider these to be gigantic bezels. Now that houses a 12 megapixel f2.4 122 degree ultra wide lens, which allows you to record videos 1080p up to 60 frames with no 4K. Great. Not gonna make a joke there. It's already writing itself. Okay, so fantastic device here. Speaking sarcastically. Now. One more thing that I didn't mention with these specifications, I did mention the part of the storages. So I did mention that it can get something like 1 terabyte and 16 gigs. So all the options here are 256 with 8, 512 with 8, 1 terabyte with 16, and 2 terabytes with 16 gigs of RAM. And the 2 terabytes with 16, obviously I don't even want to check the price. That is going to be just batshit crazy. Additionally, the battery in here for a 13-inch tablet is, I would say, underwhelming, considering it is a 10,290 milliamps. So devices nearly half that size have battery this big. But I do want to also, give credit where credit is due. This is an absolutely thin device, so I understand the constraint. Though, if you're gonna make a pro device, that's people supposed to use professionally, though I'm not sure for what reason, you might want to add a bigger battery. Because if I'm gonna be using this professionally outside of my house, I want the device to last me as long as possible, and I don't probably gonna be caring too much that the device is thin. So yeah, that's kind of a lost thing. And idiotically enough, this is the Pro version, and this is the Air version. Now, if you remember when Apple released the MacBook Air, that was the thinnest laptop at that time, and that was its selling point, and it wasn't the name. Now, if we compare these two, let me just kind of plop them up, you can see that the Air is thicker than the Pro. In what world does that make sense? In this case, with the ground rules that Apple has set, they can't even keep their own products to make sense. Okay, great. Just fantastic logic. Jesus. I just can't. Now, one last thing to talk about will be the build quality right here. So the build quality, solid. It is premium, but it hasn't changed at all from the previous versions. So it's still an aluminum back along with the frame. It still has volume rockers in the same place and a camera bump in the same place. And we have a power button at the top along with the speakers being again in the same place at the top and bottom, with a Type-C charging port again at the same place. Like I said, nothing has changed here. It's just the same device again with a newer processor. And that's about it. There is not much to it. If you have a previous version of this device that you already overpaid for, there is, I would argue, zero reason for you to upgrade, as this device is supposed to mimic a computer, but it fails at it, I would argue. And additionally, now at this point, with the price tag that Apple wants for this, you might as well get a normal laptop that will outperform this and will have more versatility than this. So I'm not sure what strong ass shit they're smoking there at Apple, but they really need to stop it, because at this point every giga corporation is just, I don't know, trying to milk every user out of their money. Screw your savings. You don't deserve the savings, apparently. Literally we just seen the same thing from Sony with their Pro PlayStation 5. So yeah, it's honestly, it's starting to become a trend with companies just seeing how far they can push the price and see how many idiots will actually pay for this. And I'm gonna refer to people that buy this as idiots. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. If you're paying over $1,500 for a tablet, you're doing something wrong, and you don't even get a pen in a box, which for creative work, you might argue you should actually have it included with the device for this freaking price. So anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this video fun, informative, and didn't take any offense to what I'm saying right here. I do genuinely despise Apple at this point. They have done enough to warrant this kind of mindset from me with their just, you know, crap that they're releasing. Some comment neatly said at one point, it's, what was it? It's tomorrow's price with yesterday's something. Can't remember, but yeah, it kind of holds true. So yeah, it's a good tablet, but it would be good if it didn't cost you a liver. So with that being said, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to smash like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.